Warning, the following is entirely satirical and should not be taken as truth or fact. Styles Rebel Radio and the Rebel Podcast do not own any copyrighted material that may be included in this broadcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
The more time goes on, the less likely you are to be struck by lightning.
Disagree. Chances are equal. And
You want to bet?
Suspend the show right now.
You're going to zipline directly into the harpoon?
Yeah.
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's going to suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore. Hey, welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. Am I right, Shaney?
Sorry.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style, 216-859-8699, that number to text in. Once again, 216-859-8699 is that Rebel hotline. Slow news week. Real slow news week. I don't know what to
Yeah.
talk about today. Seems like nothing happened all week.
It was
Everyone was real chill.
pretty boring. Seemed pretty peaceful everywhere.
That's
in
what
the
I'm
world.
saying. Everyone was real chill.
There were no
Enjoying the sun.
No bad vibes. You know, it seemed like the bad vibes levels were kind of down.
Yeah, at 100%. It seemed just everyone chilled out.
Yeah,
Everyone got along, had a good time this week.
so that's good.
So that's good. Yeah, no, there's
Happy
nothing
about
really to
that.
report on.
Yeah.
Other than there was, an instance with a couple strikes, lightning strikes.
Yeah, lightning has been striking down upon 4 people, or at least 4 reports in the last, it says 24 hours, according to this USA Today headline. So don't get struck by lightning, guys. It's very real, and it's
4
out
people.
there.
Listen, Style brings this story in, and then he goes, I thought we were just past people getting struck
Who
by
gets
lightning.
struck by lightning anymore?
It's nature.
Yeah, I think
4
everyone
people in
does.
24 hours.
I
get
think
struck by
anyone
lightning.
can. I think anyone can.
I don't think so. I think you're putting yourself in a scenario if you're getting struck by lightning. I think you can avoid it
I don't think that you can.
pretty easily.
Putting
No.
yourself in a scenario.
It's literally faster than you.
You're just being outside in inclement weather.
It might be faster, but it's not smarter. I'll let you know right now. I can out-chess lightning.
The day that you outsmart a lightning bolt,
Let me tell you something. I've done it every day of my life since I was born.
no, you haven't.
Haven't been struck.
Get
You
the fuck
haven't
outta
been
here.
in lightning storms every day since you were born. So I'll give
I
you
was born in the lightning chain.
I'll
They
gi-
call me the lightning kid.
kid lightning.
Kid lightning strikes
That's
again.
style. That's that's style. No, that's kid lightning.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can't.
That's just when I brew moonshine, though.
No, I think that you can get struck by lightning at any place at any time. Probably less likely in cities, but more likely in big open fields.
The more time goes on, the less likely you are to be struck by lightning.
Disagree. Chances are equal. And
You want to bet?
well, I guess so. Like,
You want to
if
make a wager?
no,
You want to gamble on this?
no, I don't condone gambling.
All right, I'm just asking.
Gambling is not illegal, but maybe it should be.
You have to talk to the state of Ohio about that.
Ah, what do they know?
Bunch of fucking losers who get struck by lightning.
Yeah, a bunch of lightning heads, dude. They're down for the big lightning.
We are so much better prepared to not be struck by lightning today than we were in 1900. Than people in 1900 were in 1800. We progressively get less likely to be struck by lightning.
I'm just gonna read the opening little blurbs of
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
of
Go
this,
ahead and
and
whatever
we can,
false news you want to
we
fucking
can
put out there.
analyze. That's not false.
Whatever
It's
fake
not-
narrative
it's not
you
fa-
want to
it's
run
not
about these
fake na-
lightning gods.
All right. At least 4 people were struck by lightning over a time span of roughly 24 hours on June 19th and 20th as summer thunderstorms pummeled parts of the nation. A 15-year-old boy survived being struck by lightning in Central Park, New York City on the afternoon of June 19th, according to reports by AccuWeather and other media outlets. The following day, on June 20th, 3 men experienced jolts in their... Dude, okay, I'm getting fake news right now. I'm getting yellow journalist right now.
Exactly.
Because they keep bringing up that article. The other article, like the pop-up article. I don't like that. So,
Fake news.
it was fake news. To go back. The following day, on June 20th, 3 men experienced jolts in New Smyrna Beach in Florida, on the state's east central coast. A 29-year-old Colorado man standing in the ocean in ankle-deep water around 12:30 p.m. was critically injured by the lightning strike, according to the director of the county beach.
Well, that's his own fault because everybody knows you shouldn't be in
what I'm
water when
saying.
there's lightning.
That's what I'm saying. Put himself in that situation, easily avoidable.
So a bystander and a lifeguard immediately started life-saving measures, but the victim was unresponsive and taken to the hospital. I wanna read up on the other two, or the other two people.
We live in a society,
Mm-hmm.
and in that society, there's this little invention called the lightning rod, and it's been around for quite some time now.
Yeah, we all got one.
No,
There's enough around where you shouldn't be struck by lightning unless you're standing in a field or in the ocean.
Let me finish the story because
All
it
right,
does get
finish
interesting. Later in the afternoon, about 8 miles inland, two men on the Venetian Bay golf course were jolted when lightning struck nearby, but neither of them were taken to the hospital. So,
Were they jolted because they were holding on to metal golf clubs?
in a big open field,
Why are you golfing in a lightning storm? Putting
That's
yourself in harm's way.
that's kind of what I'm saying. It seems like you still can get it. So Style, to
Yeah.
go to your original point, it seems though as if it is still possible to get struck by lightning, but you have to be doing the specific things that they tell you not to do in a lightning storm. In a lightning storm.
It just so happened that 4 people were doing things that you're not supposed to do at the same time during the same lightning storm.
That is true.
Well, I mean, the odds of that is not like astronomical.
It's
What?
not astronomical, but it's crazy that it happened 4 times.
Have we gotten too comfortable? Have we gotten too comfortable thinking, hey,
I think maybe
lightning's a thing of the past?
You've gotten too comfortable.
Yeah,
Your
100%.
original point was that nobody gets struck by lightning. You're one of
We're
those.
past this.
You're going to be
I am.
frolicking through
No.
Central Park during a lightning storm. This cannot affect me.
I don't think you know what Central Park is.
Yeah, that's where the 15-year-old boy got struck.
Frolicking?
He was in Central Park.
Was he frolicking? What was he doing? Was he
It-
flying a kite
It
with a
doesn't
key on
say.
it?
It doesn't say.
If I was a betting man,
He was probably
he
not.
probably had a kite with a key.
He was probably not Ben Franking it. I highly doubt that he was Ben Franking it in Central
he
Park.
was definitely franking his Benjamin in
No,
Central Park.
He was not franking his Benjamin in the middle of Central Park
He's
in this
missing out.
lightning storm. All right?
He's missing out. I've been there, and I haven't been struck. I think I am the perfect amount of comfortable with lightning. I have no fear of it.
I think that's
There's
not
nothing
enough.
to be afraid
I
of
think
with
that's not
lightning.
enough. I think
don't think
that's
so.
not enough.
I live in a house, right?
Yeah, the house can't save you from when you're outside,
I'm not going to be outside in the lightning
but you
storm.
could be.
At what point am I outside in the lightning storm and I go, oh, it's a lightning storm. I'm
There
going to
are-
stay outside.
There are an endless
I don't golf.
There are endless possibilities for reasons as to why you would be outside during a lightning
And
storm.
none of them have happened to me so far in
But
25
they could.
years.
But they could.
won't.
You've only gone through 25.
I'm smarter. I'm smarter than these people.
You're not. The people are lightning, and lightning are not a people. So
I
yes,
am
you're
smarter than
them,
lightning.
But you can again.
We've established that.
You can't outsmart lightning.
I can.
No, you
I
can't.
can't outrun it, but I can outsmart it.
Yeah,
You
it's
might
not,
be able to outsmart lightning by doing the things that they
You
tell
could-
you not to
What
do.
if I wear rubber shoes?
You could do very
No,
specific
no.
things to make lightning want to go away from you.
Yes.
But I don't think that you are going to.
Listen, I'm in a car. Car has rubber tires. I'm going to be fine. Right?
No.
Yes, actually, that's why cars don't get struck by lightning.
Cars
get struck
do
by-
get struck by
cars get
lightning.
And
by
you're
lightning.
fine. And you're fine.
You're fine, but the car's not.
Yeah.
It
most
doesn't
of the
matter.
time.
That's what we're talking about is me being fine.
Okay.
If I'm in
I'm
the car
not-
and the car gets struck by lightning,
I'm not.
I'm
gonna,
fine.
I'm
If
not going
I'm
to
in
choose
the
to be
car-
in a car.
If I'm in the car
If-
and the car gets struck by lightning, I'm telling people I got struck by lightning.
the hypocrisy,
Top
shady,
choice. Top choice is underground.
the digging.
Yeah,
Like you're out. Okay, new scenario.
I'm
First of all,
underground. It's a
first of
lightning
all-
storm. I'm digging.
First
now
of
you're
all,
gonna
me-
get struck
that's a metal shovel.
in your
Get
shovel.
me into the tunnels.
What do you got?
No,
A rubber shovel?
Pre-dug.
Oh yes, the
Pre-dug-
tunnels you have for lightning storms. In
Pre-dug
Central
lightning
Park.
tunnels.
It's my band name.
Quick, everybody, get in the lightning tunnels.
Dude, you would rock ancient Aztecian culture. Like these are the lightning tunnels. Nobody is at risk.
Get in.
Trust me.
Start filling up
aliens
with
can't
the
hurt you.
rainwater. You drown everybody
No.
in the tunnel.
Aliens can't hurt you. Fuck off. the hypocrisy.
Why? What's
I
what's
said-
hypocritical?
I said if I'm in a car,
What's
and
hypocratical?
you said I wouldn't be in a car. That was your reply to me saying if I'm in a car. You said I wouldn't be in
Oh,
a car.
okay. So
So-
if you're in a car,
So if I was in a car, I'd be fine. But your whole point
but
is
you don't know that.
But your whole point is if I'm out in a field in a lightning storm and I choose to
No.
be out there.
No, my point is lightning is still dangerous. It's not if you are
I'm
specifically.
not saying
in a
it's not dangerous. I'm saying it's avoidable.
It's avoidable. No, you said it was not dangerous. You have zero fear.
I have zero fear. That doesn't mean it's not dangerous.
Zero miedo of the lightning.
Zero miedo of lightning.
Listen.
Liteca.
I have zero miedo in general, but of lightning, I have teeny miedo.
Uno.
Uno miedo.
Uno miedo.
Yeah. Yeah. I have
Is
uno-
lightning.
I have uno miedo. Not even like in my day-to-day life, but like
Then you should.
there was a big storm the other day and I wasn't like, "Oh no."
You
Shi-
weren't shaking in your boots.
I wasn't shivering me timbers,
Because it's not a threat.
but if I'm like outside and there's a lightning storm, I'm scared.
If
I
I'm
am-
driving,
If I'm
scared.
driving,
I'm not driving. I'm fine driving.
in the
I think-
downpour rain.
I think driving it's more the rain than
Yes.
the lightning.
Yeah.
But that's still scary. But that's a whole different thing.
Lightning is all looks. A lot of show. A lot of peacock
It's all-
moves
all
from the lightning. It's
filler-
all, yeah.
All filler, no killer
Yeah.
with lightning.
All bark, no bite with the lightning. You know?
Zeus is gonna smite all of us after the show today. Like
No,
he's our
Zeus-
like he's our
Zeus is a
boss.
fan of the show.
We're gonna be the next three.
We're gonna have a
to
power
get
outage.
struck in 24
All
hours.
of us.
Yeah, we're gonna be the next three. in 24
All of us
hours.
are gonna be standing in fields with golf clubs outstretched in the sky. I'm saying, number one, usually golf clubs have rubber handles, so you
Yeah,
should
but
be
if it's
fine.
a big long lightning, if it's a big long metal rod, it's gonna attract lightning.
Right. So don't put yourself in that situation is my overarching point. We are smart enough as a society, we should be, other than these four people,
Yeah.
to go, hey, there's a lightning storm. Maybe I shouldn't be on a fucking golf course or in the ocean.
And I
Or
think most
I don't
of
think-
us are.
Exactly. I don't think that takes too much thinking. We've been around long. Lightning has been around long enough for us to know.
We
how it
know
works.
its pattern.
Yeah, we can figure this out.
We-
That's why we have lightning rods.
Seems like we already did figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess we are behind lightning being a problem.
Yeah.
it's not a threat.
The rod.
The
We say lightning, go there.
we can channel where lightning should go
Yeah.
most of the time.
There's
not
enough
really a threat.
scientists that are like
Yeah, have it strike
researching
them.
it.
Now
Yeah,
I will say
sure,
an over
for
like
science.
an overcompensatable amount of lightning, that would be threats to us all. If there was just like an
There's a
act-
lot of it.
if there was a lot of lightning,
Big lightning storm.
big giant lightning storm that like came through a city or something like that.
Why is that not like a premise for a movie? Like the big lightning,
Yeah.
like just constant.
Oh, no! Here comes the big lightning. They like turn into like
Yeah,
skeletons,
yeah.
blue highlight
Yes.
outline like cartoons.
Hollywood 216-859-8699 if you want to buy the rights to the Big Lightning. The sequel to the Big Valrowski.
is is that possible though? I'm assuming that is possible, right? Just a lightning storm with like no
you
rain,
would need a lot of
heat,
heat and a lot of cool.
and like have them hit together.
Yeah,
right?
you would
And
need
then-
a lot of air density.
Interesting. So theoretically, a lightning storm with no rain that is like super intense and like actually a threat to humans is possible, but
There'd probably be a
very,
tornado in
very
there.
unlikely
Yeah.
and like one like
Less than 1%.
right. It's a very slim to
Yeah.
no chance.
So until we get to that point, lightning's a non-factor for most of us. For anyone with an average IQ, lightning's a non-factor. Even I remember in elementary school learning about lightning. When they're like, "Hey, they see this zagged little bolt? That's a lightning. That's what one looks like. If you see one of those, it's bad." But I remember learning about lightning rods and not to be in water and not to be in an open field.
yeah.
And the example I remember vividly in 3rd grade, the example that was given is if you are in a field, an open field, you are going to be more likely to be struck by lightning
Mhm.
than if you are in a field with trees because it's going to go to the taller object.
Mhm.
So as long as you are not the tallest thing in the area, as long as you're not holding a metal rod or in something conductive, you'll be fine.
Dude,
Just apply logic. Lightning, not a threat to me.
Yeah, that's
I'm-
why they always kicked us out of the swimming pool in summertime. They
Yeah.
said, "Hey,
lightning.
the lightning's coming."
Oh, the lightning, right?
Well, it was as soon as they heard thunder, it was like,
Yeah.
"All right, you're out for however long.
You
There was
know-
like a timer.
You know why? Because thunder always comes after lightning.
Kuchiga.
So, according to the lore on Rebel Wiki, I'm 12 feet tall. So
You've been fucking around with that again?
yeah. So I can't avoid it.
That's true. You are statistically more likely to get struck by lightning than any of
Right.
us.
Right.
It's also, you have the metal spikes like the Darth Maul in your head.
Yeah.
216-859-8699 if you have been struck by lightning.
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
On July 26th, we will be doing a WSRR Rebelthon, our 12-hour radiothon, 12 hours of live radio right here on WSRR Radio. Shows, music, interviews, giveaways, and more. July 26th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be raising money through Venmo for the channel to support the channel. Licensing fees, all that jazz. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, July 26th, me and Dom might be doing some live shows. So if you are a Behind Enemy Lines fan, make sure you keep up with that, and you'll get to hear some exclusive content from us that day. Maybe we might do some collabs with some of the other shows. Maybe Shaney from Off Air, maybe Style from the Rebel Radio Show. So keep up with that. Like I said, July 26th, right here on WSRR Radio, 12 hours. And I'm sure you guys will hear advertisements for that across all of our shows right here on WSRR Radio, nationally local, meaning we play your local bands coast to coast on a national stage. Your new home of underground radio right here, WSRR. You make the rules and we will break them.
Make the switch, oh can't you see? Star WSRR, where you wanna be.
Shane, name a color.
Blue.
Jules, name a color.
Yellow.
Yep, you're right. Both of those can be pressed at hellbendervinyl.com. So if you're an artist looking to make your next album release something special, get it pressed in blue, yellow, or any variety of colors with Hellbender Vinyl. They're Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant and one of America's most trusted. They're hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbent on satisfaction at hellbendervinyl.com. Proud supporter of WSRR Radio and local and independent music. And I am a proud supporter of using your free will in any scenario you can.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
What do you disagree with then? Because it sounds like you're about to disagree.
No, I don't
When you
disagree
set something
with
up like that,
I don't disagree with that. I agree that it's good to use your free will in any given moment.
what about driving?
Yeah. For the most, yeah, I would say it's in fact more important to use your free will while driving.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree.
What?
I think you should be told how to drive.
I mean,
I think you should be told how, where.
I think that you're.
I think you should just autopilot and look at your GPS. Don't even look at the road.
I don't. I just look at my GPS the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
What
that
do you
bad?
need the road for? You got a digital one right there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
It's kind of the future.
My car has a lot of dents on it, and the police have been chasing me for the last 20 years. So
And at least it ain't lightning.
yeah,
At least you haven't been struck by lightning.
been avoiding that. That's
It's
good.
like cops. I'm avoiding the lightning. Tell me about this old man.
All right. So, an elderly man, 80-year-old, he was on his way to work. He took a wrong turn and drove his Mercedes-Benz sedan down Rome's famous Spanish steps.
We should
And-
clarify, he lives in Rome. It's not like he took
Yeah.
a wrong turn and ended up in Rome. It's not like he's from like Seattle.
Like from Wyoming. How'd
Yeah.
I get
How did I
here?
get to Rome.
Must have took a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah, this is supposed to be his
You're
regular
3 weeks late for work, buddy.
his regular commute gets stuck and ends up driving down
Yeah.
some steps. Anyway, the police ended up having they stopped the man. They told him, do not drive any further. He made it like halfway down the steps.
And so the steps are like super insanely long from what I saw and understand.
There's like, so
Is it like the Joker steps,
But longer.
but
it's
longer
more
and less dance?
And there's like there's stretches in between little spots of stairs. So
Yeah, it's
like
a
you'll go
staircase.
Yeah.
downstairs and then walk on a flat surface, go down.
Picture
yeah.
picture big stairs.
Big stairs.
You could not skateboard, like you could not jump down these stairs on a skateboard. They're so
Yeah,
big.
picture Resistance from MW3. It's those stairs.
The longest stairs in the world.
And this
Yeah,
guy,
well, I don't know if that's true.
this
close.
guy decided he wanted to drive down them. Well, maybe. Well, kind
Well,
of.
here's
Halfway.
clearly this guy shouldn't be driving. Number one, that's I think main problem here. This 80-year-old dude who mistook stairs as a street shouldn't be driving.
Yeah. Or like, what wrong turn do you take to accidentally end up on a pedestrian?
Right, because those stairs
Step,
aren't
like,
leading
know.
right into the street, right?
Right. At least you would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah. So, number one, probably shouldn't be operating a motor vehicle. Number two, how
Yeah.
many stairs do you think he went down before he realized?
I think he knew
I don't
right
th-
away
I don't
he
think
was
he
on some stairs.
Really? See, I don't think he knew.
At all?
Really?
I think that the whole time he was just like, man, the road's pretty bumpy.
They must
When
be
in
doing
Rome.
construction when in Rome.
He probably just said, when in Rome. And went
So-
down the steps. Yeah.
There's a video of this, and he seems to be driving very gingerly down these stairs. Like he knows he made a wrong turn, but like there's no
True.
turning around.
True. Yeah. It's just one of those things where like to Styles' point of like, if you are too old to make a wrong turn and end up down
Not
these-
on the road.
not on the road, like that is where the problem starts.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're like, oh, I made it on the road, but I made it on the steps, but I slowed down. You know,
I only made it down 3 staircases.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't hit
not-
anyone.
It's not better.
Yeah, right. It's like, well, it's still not good.
Because you can't back up, right? You can't go back.
Right.
You're going to have that momentum working against you.
right.
So, like, I get it.
Or you could floor it back.
or you spinning your tires,
Yeah.
tearing them up on the step. Because, like, yeah, what do you do in this scenario, right? You take somehow you take a wrong turn. Somehow
how did I-
Palpatine returned, right?
Yeah, right.
Uh, you make a wrong turn, you're on the steps. At this point, you are like 2 steps deep in your front tires. As long as your back tires are off and still like not on the steps, you can back up.
right.
But once your back tires hit the steps, you're fucked. You're going down.
Yeah, you're not going back up.
My issue is you should be able to realize that you are going down steps before your
Yeah.
back tires hit those steps.
Yeah. And like even that incline of
Yeah.
like the first step, you're like,
Oh, this isn't a hill.
yeah, right.
All
He
I see
probably-
is stairs in front of me.
Yeah.
He probably could have made it back up just one
Well,
stair.
And that's
Yes,
that's why I think that he didn't clock it at
I
all.
think so. I think
I don't
you're
think
right.
that he was even. He was like, "Oh man, this road's just very bumpy."
Yeah,
It's like kind of sucks, but furthers the point of this man should not be on the fucking road.
I think there's a very special class of drivers out there that are just really absent-minded when it comes to basic road knowledge. And I
Mhm.
think that his age definitely plays a factor into this, but I
Yeah.
think that a lot of people are of this mindset of this guy probably made this turn thinking it was a road initially, got to the part where his car is both front and back tires on the steps, and at that point probably realized they were steps, but didn't have the mental process to go, I shouldn't be here. I'm gonna keep driving, and I'm gonna have to find some way out of this. I don't think that's the part that clicked with him, is the fact that you shouldn't just keep driving down these steps once you're there.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know why this happened in general, because this is supposed
It
to
happened
be
in Rome, actually.
his drive. Shut the fuck up. This is supposed to be his drive to work. Like, how do you take a wrong turn
Yeah.
on, unless he
On
like
your
just got
commute,
this job, this was
right.
his first day, but
Well, and so like the mental picture that I painted was there are a lot of pedestrian walkways in Rome and in like
Yeah.
Italy and Greece and those countries where like it looks like a road but it's just for people. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
And so I wonder if at some point he got mixed up and ended up on one of those with not a lot of people on it and then made a quote unquote wrong
Right.
turn onto the steps.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like that's where I have at least again, this is what I thought in my brain, like how it happened. Obviously I don't know for sure. The article doesn't get into the specifics, but like I would have to imagine that he turned onto a pedestrian area and then turned down the steps. And so my problem lies with him mixing up the actual road and the
Right,
pedestrian
right.
road. That is where the problem lies. Because it's probably very clearly like gated off.
Sure.
Or, there's big
It's like driving
pillars
onto
or-
a walking trail.
Yeah, right. You would
Yeah.
know not to do that.
Right.
And so like if an old person in Ohio was driving on the Erie towpath or
yeah.
something like that, we'd be like, that's a problem.
This guy, you can't put a car there,
That's
buddy.
not a road.
How'd you get here?
right. And so this is probably that situation,
Right.
but the Roman version.
With steps.
Yeah, right. The Roman version with steps. And so like that's where I think it's like, yeah, probably shouldn't be driving if he can't discern the road from the walkway.
But the problem is, and what I was getting to earlier, is I think there's a certain group of drivers that just lack that basic instinct on the road. And I see this
Yeah.
all the time of
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
if you miss an exit or you miss a street, what do?
You just keep going.
You figure it out
Yeah,
after.
you just have to
You
keep
don't
going.
like back up or
Right.
stop or try to cut through traffic to get
Right.
that shit pisses me off more than anything else on the road, is seeing somebody take a wrong turn and then try to still make
Try
the
to
turn they
correct it.
pass. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, turn around in McDonald's or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Fuck, it's not that big of a deal. You
Right.
have a GPS.
Right.
You
Take-
will get there.
take the next exit, turn around, get on back
Right.
on.
Right.
Yeah, people that like will fucking get their car over to the median on the exit and
Mhm.
park and wait and you should not be on the road. I
Right.
trust this 80-year-old man on the steps more than I trust you.
Yeah, I just feel like this guy was probably just an old geezer who didn't quite
I feel
know
like at
what was
some
going
point-
on.
He made it down a couple flights. I feel like at some point I would try and floor it.
Yeah, that's what my brain now tells me to do.
Yeah.
Just punch it, see
Yeah.
what happens.
I don't think
Once
I
you're
would.
there and you realize you're in a bad spot,
you're
like
not going back.
yeah, you
But
can't back up.
You can't go to either side.
Right.
I will say he was in like a little sedan. I think my personal vehicle, would beast these fucking stairs. It would have no problem.
Sure.
But that car that he was in, I feel like it would scrape. It would have some issues. It wouldn't
Right.
make it
right.
to the bottom.
That's why I'm saying, like, you start rolling, right? You get down to where you feel it getting, because you'll feel it. You'll feel you losing traction. You'll feel it getting a little steeper. Your
Mhm.
car's not going to be able to make that climb. At that point, that's when you fucking pedal to the floor and just, your suspension's fucked anyway. Just fucking jump the stairs. What's the worst that could, they're probably taking your license after this anyway. So you might as well just fucking go out in a blaze of glory.
So here, the guy was a resident of Rome. Was at a loss to explain how he wound up driving down the famed steps. And they did not release his name, or what car, and it was unclear if the car was his.
That's that classic,
Okay.
that classic old person driving. How did I get here?
Yep.
Yeah.
How did I get here? Well, maybe you shouldn't be operating a vehicle.
That's one of those things, like, I know it's talked about so often, but it's just kind of wild that it's still not something in play of, like, once you reach retirement
60
age.
or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
65, something
Yeah.
like that. You have to mandatorily retake the test every 2,
Yeah.
4, 3 years, whatever.
Right.
Like that should be mandatory.
Oh, 100%.
And it shouldn't be a back and forth between old people and the government.
Right.
Like that should just be something in play.
I don't know. If you want to take a driving test, 216-859-8699. I'll go set up the cones.
Hi, this is Melissa.
And hey, it's Matt.
Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Are you ready, kids? It's me, distinctively non-copyright unspecified Sponge Man, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Show on WSRR. Make the switch.
Synergy Music Studio, based out of Chicago, Illinois. They're home for mixing, mastering, recording, session work, demo work, and more. A whole litany of services, handcrafted and specifically crafted to meet their clients' needs. For more information, synergymusicstudio.com is your one-stop shop for all of that. They're proud supporters of local and independent music, just like GenericClothes.com is. Stick it to big brand clothing companies, have a laugh at their expense, and wear a shirt that gets straight and to the point. Perfect for any occasion or a gift. GenericClothes.com is where you want to go for your next purchase. Texas is where you want to stay out of, because all your exes are there.
Oh, God, all my exes are in Texas. I feel like I'm Georgie boy.
This must be what George Strait was talking about.
Literally,
this is why he hangs his hat in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is this man, and so there was a couple.
Yep.
They were engaged to be married. They went as far as to get their marriage license, and after that, they had split up. Once,
For clarification, a marriage license is a license to get married. It is not your marriage certificate saying you are married.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So they got this marriage license, and then they split up. Marriage didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Years later, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how
Years
many.
later would be I thought that this was, when you had brought this up beforehand, I thought this was right after. Years later.
Oh, no, I apologize. They got the marriage license June 2nd.
And then they split up.
And then they must have split up, and then it doesn't give us a date as to when. So this man had received a marriage certificate in the mail with his name and his ex's name on it, saying that they were married. He contacted the police trying to figure out what had happened. She ended up tricking we don't exactly know. I'm saying tricking,
yeah,
like
sleuthing the priest or whatever.
Yeah.
Sleuthing the Priest is a good band name.
She got the priest to officiate the marriage on the certificate, the license, and then she took that paperwork and took it to the county clerk's office and had it filed as a actual marriage.
So these two were going to get married, sign their marriage license, didn't end up staying together, broke up. I'm assuming moved out or
Probably,
separated
yeah.
somewhere. and then this guy in the mail gets his marriage certificate saying that they are married,
Mhm.
notified, signed, ready to go,
Yep.
officially legally married in the state of Texas, unbeknownst to him.
Yes, that is correct.
Do you have to get a divorce?
This
is
I
legal,
feel-
right?
I feel
So-
like it's one of those things where the court office would be like, "It sucks, but yes, you have to. You have to go. You went through the
right
technically because they did technically go through the legal bindings.
He
of-
technically didn't, though.
and that's something for the courts to decide.
Well-
But, like,
So
That's up to Texas.
yeah, right. That's up to Texas.
I feel like the priest needs to be brought up on charges.
probably.
I guess it varies
Depends.
state by
'Cause
state, right?
Depends on
They
if
are
the
given the approval to marry people by the state.
Yeah, I guess maybe the priest should have done a little, but it's one of those things where, like, if the ex girlfriend, fiance, if the ex fiance tricks the priest into thinking that they're both on board some way, somehow, I don't know, but if that, like, tomfoolery is in play, then maybe it's not the priest's fault. Maybe all the blame lies on the ex.
Here's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
Do they
but-
say it's a priest specifically?
Let's see.
Not like an officiant or at the courthouse or something like
yeah,
that.
maybe it is just like a
the
notary.
right.
the police department is not releasing any information on who officiated the
Okay,
ceremony.
because that's my question. Is usually the person or the priest or the officiant or whoever who signs your marriage certificate is the one who did your ceremony.
Right.
So if there was no
right.
ceremony, how do you go to the priest and be like, "Hey, remember how
Right.
you're supposed to marry us? We got married. Can you sign this?"
Right.
I don't think he would have the power to do that. Or
Right.
why would he do that if he didn't do the ceremony?
But
Because then at that point you could maybe go to the courthouse and get it notarized.
Yeah, that's
I
so.
don't know.
Whoever
Again-
the notary was on this is at fault somehow.
I think. Well, again, I wonder if there's foul, like just a lot of foul play by the lady into trick. But yeah, as the notary, as the person signing it legally, saying like, "You guys are now married."
Right.
File this. Yeah, you probably that person's probably at fault.
But again, it comes down to how you have to get a marriage license notarized in the state of Texas too. Because I know for like a car notary in Ohio, you have to have the seller and the buyer both present, sign it in front of the notary, and the notary notifies it to make it official. In the state of Michigan, you don't need that. You only need the buyer to sign in front of the notary. So maybe in the state of Texas, as long as one party's present,
Right.
You can sign a marriage
Right, you can get it
certificate.
notarized.
That sounds like some Texas ass shit though. That sounds like some shit that Texas.
Let me look into it.
That sounds like some shit because I know. So, at least from
my marriages in Texas,
from my marriage in Ohio,
the ones in Texas we don't talk
Yeah,
about.
those are your exes.
the person signing was the person who did my ceremony,
Right.
and he was there as the witness,
Mhm.
Right.
and so we both signed, and then we witnessed him sign, like he
Mhm.
signed, that.
Yeah.
and then we just filed that. That was our. Nope, we were done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't sign it on the wedding day.
Texas law does not require a witness for a marriage ceremony.
What?
A marriage can be concluded by a licensed or ordained Christian minister or priest, a Jewish rabbi, current or retired judges, or somebody authorized by their religious organization to conduct a wedding. But you do not need a witness present to sign the marriage certificate. So they could have just went to someone like a friend who was
Right.
ordained and be like, "Hey,
Right.
we never got our marriage license signed. Can you
Right.
sign this?"
Wow. That's crazy. Texas needs to up their
Yeah,
laws because what the
yeah.
fuck?
I'm surprised this is the first time this has happened, if that's the case.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it isn't.
So
That's true.
This lady is being brought up on third-degree felony stalking.
I feel like there should be other charges.
Yeah,
Like,
but
this-
what?
Stalking's not a bad forgery, maybe? Because,
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
this dude didn't agree to getting married.
Yeah, but
But he did before.
if there was only the bride and the ordained or like whoever the
Yeah.
ordained
Officiant?
person,
Yeah.
the officiant, if it was only their signatures and that's all they needed to submit it, then
Well, that's the thing. It said that you don't need a witness. So, like, someone who was at the wedding.
Yeah, right.
So, like, that writes out that, but you'd still need both parties to sign.
He
Right.
went with her to get the marriage license.
License, not the certificate, though. The certificate's what signed them to make them married.
Okay,
So,
so
his
he-
signature would need to be on the marriage certificate,
Okay.
is what I'm saying.
Mm,
So,
but I'm saying,
So there had to be a
someone had to forge that signature.
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
If he had no idea of this, the certificate that said we are married, the one that's notarized that makes them legally married, had to have both the bride and groom's signature on it.
yeah, I wonder if there is. It's one of those things where like this article just doesn't.
Give you the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, right. Doesn't provide like the information that you're looking for because yeah, forgery is something that would definitely come up, and you would think that they know, and maybe they're just not releasing that information.
Right,
But then
right.
why aren't they releasing the information? Like,
Yeah, because then why would you release that she's been processed on stalking charges, but not the
Right.
other charges?
right.
When you'd think right off the bat that there had to be some other legal charge in regards to the
I don't
document
know, I
itself.
just feel like forgery would come up at the very least in this article if that was.
I mean, she
Right.
forged a legal document.
But
Right.
we don't. But it doesn't say that. We don't know that. We just know that she signed and.
He wasn't aware of the marriage, so
Right, he
obviously
wasn't-
it had to have been forged.
So
But-
his name had to be on it, and if
But
he
I'm-
didn't know,
I'm saying like when they filed it, maybe
but
it just wasn't look like. Maybe if it was sealed and they just filed it, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I feel like forgery would have to come up, right? That
Minimum,
right.
it's gotta be, and I definitely feel like whoever the officiant was, or the judge or clerk or whoever that made this official,
Yeah.
he needs to be charged too. I
Yeah,
think
right.
there definitely needs to be some kind of charge there, because that's crazy. Showing up and getting married by yourself, essentially, to someone who has no idea.
To just getting that in the mail one day.
Right. Oh, I'm married now.
Oh, well, I guess I'm married. Yeah, I wonder if
You
because
think he
they're-
claimed it on his taxes?
Probably, I would.
She probably did.
It's one of those things where like
You think you have to claim it on your taxes?
No, you
Like,
can
no,
file
no,
separately.
No, but like when tax time comes around, it says, "Have you been married or divorced in X amount of
yeah.
years?"
Yeah, you
I-
definitely can.
I have.
It was a crazy sitch. but
I've
I
been
did.
married, but
Yeah.
not divorced. But I'm not married anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they have to go through the divorce process because they're legally married by the state, but then also like
I wonder
if
if
there was foul play,
Right.
is
Can they
that
nullify it?
is that marriage even legitimate?
Ooh,
right.
yeah.
Like, can they just take that and put
Right.
it in the shredder and say, nope, doesn't count. This was illegal. And
yeah,
just
well,
kind of
it
get,
wasn't
like-
a lawful marriage.
Right, just get
so
the whole thing
therefore-
thrown out, essentially.
Yeah, you guys are no longer married in the eyes of the law. Sorry.
Right, right.
Have a great time. Bye.
The other question I had, it's legal binding when you get married. It's legal binding in whatever state you're in. If I go over to another state, are you still married? Like, if you two still, are you married if you go to another state?
Yeah.
Yes, but every state has different marriage laws.
Mm.
So I don't know how much this is a thing anymore.
I got to get remarried if I move to a different state.
Well, I don't know how much it's a thing anymore, but people used to go to different states to get married to someone else. Instead of getting a
Oh.
divorce from like their first wife or something, they would go, like, if they live in Louisiana, they could go to Arkansas and get a
married.
different marriage. Yeah.
And then that would like nullify the first one.
It
Essentially?
wouldn't nullify it, but in the state of Arkansas, you're married
Ah, I see.
to this person. Whereas if you were still in Louisiana, you can't get married twice.
Yeah, right.
So as long as no one knew in Arkansas that you were married, you can get married in Arkansas.
I feel like the
Interesting.
database is much deeper now.
Probably.
So it's that probably doesn't happen as often.
Right.
Right.
But there probably is still situations.
Well, what if you
like
go
that.
somewhere like Utah?
Yeah, polygamy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nevada?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you go somewhere where you can get married more than once?
I have 50 different wives in all 50 different countries. We just got married in Utah.
I'm trying to look up grounds for annulment in a marriage instead of a divorce, because I feel like that's probably what would happen in this case, right?
Yeah.
It would
well,
illegally void the marriage.
their marriage was never consummated.
The marriage is treated as if it never existed, and can have different legal and social implications on the divorce.
Yeah, so they're
Fraud.
probably getting an annulment.
One spouse misrepresenting facts about themselves or their intentions to induce the other to marry could be grounds for an annulment. So I think that's what would probably go on here. The state of Texas would probably say, you guys were never married. This never happened.
That's so interesting.
Brush it under the rug.
Yeah, that's so interesting that they can just pat their hands and make it go away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. So hey, look at this. Here's all the grounds for annulment, because this kind of goes into what we were talking about. Fraud, duress if one person is coerced or forced into a marriage, bigamy if one spouse is already married to someone else in or outside of the state, underage marriage, lack of mental capacity, or failure to consummate. These are all grounds for annulment.
The lack of mental capacity?
Yeah.
Failure to consummate. They just don't want you to poop.
No, it's consummate is
Ate
having
a
sex.
ate a little too much cheese. Now I can't be married. What's
The
this all
fuck?
about? Jeez, man, they really need to fucking.
That's having sex. You're
Just having
supposed to do it after
supposed to
you get
poop.
married.
Supposed to poop after you get married.
Failure to
flush yourself
constipate.
out.
Yeah, flush out with the old and with the
Yeah,
new.
yeah, to make room for new poop. Our poop.
the poop of our lineage.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
The
That's what it's
family
about.
poop.
The family air poop.
Our poop.
And that's when you get the family poop knife on your honeymoon.
Hey, it's a lot better to inherit than the family suicide revolver.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting married in Texas.
Don't tell George straight.
He's my ex.
You think the plan for her was to go through with the divorce? Like, you think it was like, hey, I'm gonna file this marriage, and then I'm gonna file for a divorce, and I'm gonna take half your stuff.
We were already breaking up. Might
Yeah.
as well get some shit out of it.
I think she got embarrassed and didn't want to tell her friends and family that they broke up and the wedding was off. And so she was like, we got married.
We got married really quick.
I think she's insane. I think
Yeah.
because she's still pay for this.
I mean, no.
Either way,
Regardless, you're right. No matter what happened, you're correct about that. This lady's crazy. So
she's
good
probably like afraid of lightning strikes and shit. This lady's probably insane.
She's probably been struck by lightning multiple times. 4 in the last 24 hours.
That's a hell of a gamble. Lightning. That's a hell of a gamble to play.
It is.
Spending money on a marriage that you know isn't legitimate.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a longer play here. It had to be something where she was gonna take it to court and get a divorce.
She really just wanted to make him miserable.
I feel like probably either the plan was either A, she's crazy and, well, we're already married, so he can't do anything
Right,
now.
we're married.
Or B, she's smart and was saying, well, we're going to break up, or I want to break up, whatever the case is. I'm at least going to get half of his stuff.
Right.
But I don't want to go through with the wedding. I don't want to have the pictures and shit.
I wonder if he had some really good stuff.
All this cool stuff in my house is now yours. Shit. That bitch took all my cool stuff in the divorce.
You know, they said the number one reason for divorce is cool stuff.
No more like wallpaper.
They
or
took
like
the wallpaper.
Posters.
It still
They
sucks.
took the damn wallpaper.
Your mantle, your statues, all your cool Pokemon cards.
All your statues of Roman gods.
She took the house.
Yeah. Took the house.
No, I kept the house, took the wallpaper.
Took the dog.
It
ripped him
still
down.
sucks that like he never had this wedding, didn't have the marriage, broke up before anything actually happened, and now he legitimately has an ex-wife.
This is worse than getting served divorce papers.
Getting served marriage
Getting
papers.
served your marriage
Sorry,
license.
you're married.
Sorry, you're married.
You're part of this now, dude. You're in it.
Because we talked about serving divorce papers, right? You can apply to be the guy who delivers the divorce
Yeah.
papers.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
I think we talked about this years ago.
I mean,
it's a
it's
job.
possible.
You-
It was
Possible.
me, you, and Shaggy.
Oh, usually it falls on the county sheriff. If your county has a sheriff, it's usually his job to serve the divorce papers, but it doesn't have to be. You can apply and anybody can serve divorce papers
Yeah, you
because
just volunteer.
you have to be officially and legally served divorce papers. You have to
Hell
receive
yeah.
them
Hell
and
yeah.
have it known that it's been received, right? So you can apply to be the guy that serves divorce papers, which awesome job. I'd
Yeah.
love to do that. But imagine being the guy who has to serve the marriage license. You're married.
Sorry,
that
dude.
just,
Congrats.
That just comes in the mail.
Yeah, that just came FedEx.
Yeah. Damn.
That's USPS,
Yeah,
buddy.
you don't even get a fucking like notice.
That is a long day.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do when you just Saturday evening go out and get the mail? Spectrum bill, AT&T, marriage certificate.
You
your
cracked
ex.
this one on this. This one doesn't look like junk mail.
these scammers are getting tricky now. I don't know how this one's gonna play out.
Yeah, would you think it was legitimate?
Well, it's one of those things where at first maybe, but then you open it and you see your ex's name.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
what-
like, that bitch.
Yeah,
That's
what it
stone
was.
cold bitch.
What? That's exactly my thought process. I'd
Yeah.
pick it up and go, "Oh, this is some weird telemarketing scam.
Right, they're trying
Why
to
do they
get
have a
me.
marriage certificate with my name?"
Right.
But that's the dangerous part. What if you don't open it?
You
What
just
if
toss
it's just
it out?
yeah? What if just like San Antonio courthouse marriage certificate?
You're
You see
like,
the little
oh,
window.
bullshit.
Yeah, all right, pal. Now you're married.
That would be really funny.
That'd be really
That's-
unfortunate.
That sounds like the plot of like an early 2000s comedy
Yeah,
movie.
100%.
Oops, I got married.
Like there's a seed early on the first 5 minutes that this dude just doesn't read his mail.
It's
Yeah.
And that's the thing that sets the whole movie in motion.
it's wait, comma, we're married? Question
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah.
That's the
There's a
movie.
dude, where's my car?
Yeah,
yeah.
basically.
Wait, we're married? Yeah. I think it's a good scheme by the lady.
Good little bit.
If she's trying to get half of his stuff.
Right.
And again, that's only very situationally if this situation that I made up in my brain is true.
It's
Yeah.
half
but-
baked though. Like she wouldn't have ever been able to get half of his stuff because the marriage wasn't legit.
It
would
is half baked. That's true.
First thing I'm doing, if I'm opening the mail and there's a marriage certificate in there, texting someone, well, I'm married.
She hit like 4 out of 5 of the bullet points on ways to get annulled. So, like,
yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too. She just seems like a crazy person. Like, just based on this alone, it seems like she maybe is a little bit nuts.
Yeah, seems
Maybe.
Seems perfectly sane to me.
okay, sure.
Rock on,
Rock
Yeah.
on, man. It's Texas.
rock on, dude.
This
The
is-
Lone Star State.
This is how they do it in Tejas.
Yeah, Tejas, yeah.
That's why there's so many X's down there.
Is that-
Marriage, rampant.
Is that where the Alamo lives?
That is.
Don't
Okay.
forget.
I
Don't
didn't.
you ever forget.
I didn't. I just didn't remember where he lived.
John Alamo
John Alamo.
Yeah.
I've never forgotten about him. Good guy.
from the Battle of Texas. John Alamo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like this girl. I think
Yeah?
I think that
Why don't
she
you
is-
marry her? She's single.
No. She's
recently
already
single.
She's already sent me her marriage papers.
You think you
I already am married
you
to
think
her.
you get fake marriage papers sent to someone?
I hope so.
Like how you can send the fucking like fake
Like
big
like-
dildo.com to someone.
like
you think
a prank phone call, but a prank marriage.
oops, we're married.
Gotcha.
Funny as shit.
It's a big diamond ring. Gotcha. Here's the ring.
Send them the ring via FedEx.
Me and you for the rest of our lives.
I think that's a good
Why'd you go
service.
Ty Pennington with that?
I'm doing my early 2000s voiceover voice.
Extreme marriage makeover.
Extreme marriage makeover. You
Sponsored
guys,
by Sears.
you guys are now married.
The Sears wedding department's going crazy on this one, dude.
Yeah, I think we should just all get married and then get divorced and take half of each other's stuff and then get married again.
It's kind of like
To
sharing a
the other
propane
person.
tank.
Yeah.
Take half of the stuff that they got.
We all get each other's stuff.
It's
Yeah.
like sharing a propane tank.
Okay.
We've all agreed to it. Everyone just trusts the system of giving a propane tank to get a propane tank. You're taking someone else's.
That's true.
How often do you get a new propane tank? Not often.
This one's you go to the hardware store, they give you a new one, or the gas station. Here, this one's crisp.
brand new off the shelf.
Never been used. That's fresh
Make
propane.
sure you give it to someone else when you're done. We'll give you someone else's crusty propane tank.
It's like the Aldi dollar or
Two-
Aldi quarter.
216-859-8699 if you want to get married.
It'd go under the name Evan.
Evan Sinarski.
Yeah.
The Pidge for short.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know more about that, you can always check out the Pigeonhole on WSRR Radio. That goes live at 4 p.m. right here on WSRR Radio, but at 3 p.m. during the weekdays, you get Shanice off air. Hooty, 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 hoo! Of course, at 5 p.m. live every Monday, we're here at the Rebel Radio Show or Rebel Replays throughout the week. 216-859-8699, that number to text in. That works for all of our show times. For schedules and more, you can go to WSRRradio.com for our full list of events like Behind Enemy Lines. That's the Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh, PA with Lucas and Dom Farrow in the mornings, 10 a.m. right here on WSRR Radio, or even at 10 p.m. on the weeknights. You get True Vault Escapades. That's the Fallout-based radio podcast from Preston Harden and his crew. They do an awesome job, so make sure you check that out as well. Jules,
What?
what's coming up on July 26th?
The Rebelthon.
That's
Duh.
right. The WSRR Rebelthon. That's 12 straight hours of live broadcasting right here on WSRR Radio. And if you don't know, you can check out the website for the full release on that. But we are free from network advertisement. That's right. All of the programming you hear is from WSRR Radio, local artists, and our amazing local sponsors like Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA, and GenericClothes.com, who help support the local music scene, local artists, and local radio. So if you want to join us on July 26th, we'll be live from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day long with a variety of hosts, shows. Guest interviews, giveaways, and more. That's the Rebelthon, July 26th. Of course, the text line will be open all day as we raise money through Venmo at WSRRradio.com. We're going to be selling a Rebelthon shirt exclusively for 24 hours on July 26th as well, so keep your eyes open for that. There's also a Give, Send, Go that you can access from WSR Radio right now. We're trying to raise money to offset our brand new radio contract that lets us be ad-free, live, and local 24/7, 365. So for more information on that, WSRRadio.com. I'm out of breath. So until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Styles. Am I right, Shaney?
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Peace.
Pray